Assemblyman Watson calls for a truce with the Chief Secretary. Chairman of Tobago Business Chamber calls for a repeal of the Land License Act. $12.6 million budgeted for Tobago Carnival 2023, and Signal Hill Secondary School launches its own magazine. Good evening, I'm Patricia Nicholson-Richards. This is the Tobago Updates television news for Thursday, 5th October 2023. Topping the news this evening, as the anticipation for Tobago Carnival 2023 builds, one question remains on the minds of many. What is the budget allocated for this year's festivities? The absence of a dedicated budget for the event has stirred some controversy, but officials are keen to reassure the public that preparations are well underway. Tobago Updates News has details on the budget for Tobago Carnival.
As the anticipation for Tobago Carnival 2023 mounts, many politicians and critics have raised questions about the event's budget and the allocation of funds. While the celebrations are well underway, the absence of detailed budget information has become a focal point for discussion. The budget has now been released, and according to the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, $12.6 million will be spent on Tobago Carnival. This budget is intended to cover subventions to interest groups, logistics, infrastructure, and various expenses essential for this year's festivities. Last year, $7 million was approved for spending, but the division spent less because of late sponsorships coming on board. For the weekend, promotion began in Trinidad, featuring a lineup of Tobago artists, including Sherwin Winchester, Adana, Trinidad. Also participating will local mass and juve bands, showcasing their costumes and presentations. This year's Tobago Carnival promises to be a grand affair, with a total of 54 bands participating across various categories. They will parade through the streets of Scarborough for Juve, Night Mass, and the Parade of Bands from October 27th to the 29th. One exciting new feature for this year's carnival is the festival grounds to be set up on the Scarborough Esplanade. Serving as a carnival village, this space is expected to exhibit local Calypsonians, vendors, and sponsors. The festival grounds will be inaugurated on Monday, October 23rd, and will remain active throughout the carnival season. The division has also garnered the official support of major sponsors, including Republic Bank Limited, B-Mobile, and Carib Brewery. Coordinating the carnival festivities are three special purpose companies under the division: Tobago Festivals Commissions Limited, Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, and Tobago Performing Arts Company. Several stakeholders were consulted in the planning for the Tobago Carnival. Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, Tasha Boris, has expressed her satisfaction with the level of stakeholder engagement in the planning. She eagerly anticipates the execution of the plan and envisions a successful, enjoyable, and safe carnival season. While preparations for the Tobago Carnival 2023 are well on their way, critics and curious onlookers continue to seek more transparency regarding the event's budget to ensure accountability and a deeper understanding of how resources are allocated. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates Television News.
Chairman of the Tobago Business Chamber, Martin George, is calling on the central government to repeal the Land License Act to facilitate increased foreign direct investment in Tobago. He shared his views on the 2024 budget, specifically addressing allocations for Tobago, which encompass the initial allocation, foreign exchange, the Cabo Star, and the Caribbean Airlines. Ariana Sipiu has the details.
Representing the Tobago Chamber of Business, Chairman Martin George stated that the budget Tobago received this year is consistent with what was given last year, albeit with a slight increase. He noted that the majority of the budget the Assembly receives is allocated to the continuation of ongoing operations, with limited focus on development or investment. George emphasized that the THA needs to explore innovative methods to secure funding and finance for development projects and infrastructure improvements in Tobago.
We say that the fact that you see recurrent expenditure taking up at least about 88% of the budgetary allocation, that indicates that all you are doing is spending money on wages, salaries, expenses, bills, paying, rentals, and all things that really are just your essentials.
A call has been made for the Minister of Finance to repeal the Foreign Investment Act. George indicated that the shortage of foreign exchange is caused by this legislation, which obstructs direct foreign investment in Tobago. He argued that its removal would benefit the entire country.
That legislation needs to be repealed, and you ought to now allow the free flow of direct foreign investment into Tobago. That's going to be a benefit both to Trinidad and also to Tobago, because you would have now lots of foreign exchange coming directly into the country via Tobago, but the point is a lot of it is going to have to be spent in Trinidad.
He expressed gratitude for the new cargo vessel mentioned by the Minister of Works and Transport, Rohan Sininan. He emphasized that having another vessel is essential to support the Cabo Star when required.
The government is to commission the building of a new cargo vessel, which makes sense because the Cabo Star needs a supplemental boat to help it on that run, because you have the Cabo Star running up and down breathless every day. Of course, at times it's going to break down, it's going to need repairs, it's going to need to go on dry dockings.
Martin George noted that the Finance Minister addressed Caribbean Airlines, and Finance Minister Colm Imbert stated that CAL will return to its pre-pandemic flight capacity. George hopes that this will lead to improved efficiency and effectiveness in their service delivery. He mentioned that he has emphasized to CAL on numerous occasions the vital role of their services for Tobago. Furthermore, he urges CAL to enhance their service on the air bridge, as it is crucial for boosting tourism and business on the island. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
Tobago's development needs to get back on the right track. This according to former Finance Secretary Joel Jack. He made this assertion during his appearance on the Minority Show as he gave his views on the 2023-2024 national budget. Jack emphasized the need for Tobago's development to regain its momentum. More in this report from Biana Brebner.
Former Finance Secretary Joel Jack underscored the significance of Tobago reassessing its development trajectory. This statement comes in response to the island's allocation of $2.58 billion in the 2024 national budget, with $260 million earmarked for development programs.
And when you compare the previous budgets under, you don't want to. I don't want to suggest my stewardship, but when you go to previous budgets by, previous secretaries of finance like Dr. London and myself, you have to be concerned as a Tobagonian.
He pointed out that when assessing this year's allocation and comparing it to previous budget under PNM administration in Tobago, it raises concerns for Tobagonians. Jack said these concerns on the allocations itself and encompasses issues related to governance and the island's development.
As a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, as a Tobagonian and as a proud PNM, really heartened by what the government has done, undertaking since 2015, a fiscal, conservative and a prudent fiscal stance to manage the economy of Trinidad and Tobago since 2015.
Jack noted, while the nation had to endure economic challenges in 2015 due to the decline in oil and gas prices, and in 2020 due to COVID-19 pandemic, it has managed to recover from these setbacks. However, he highlighted that when examining the nation specifically within Tobago, the increased allocation do not reflect the same level of economic improvement.
Before we go forward, let's take a glance at 2015. As Secretary of Finance, a new administration took the helm of governance in Trinidad and Tobago. A budget was read in September, and by December, we had to recalibrate our estimates because there was a precipitous fall in the price of oil and gas.
Jack mentioned that while the national budget plays a crucial role in shaping government strategy, including Tobago's economic development, utilizing policy-driven approach as a measure would be highly beneficial to revitalize Tobago development. Biana Brebner, Tobago Updates Television News.
Political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Watson Duke, is calling for a truce in the battle between himself and the Chief Secretary, Farley Augustine. The two have been at odds for over a year. A few weeks ago, Duke issued a call for reconciliation, but it was not heeded. However, Duke and Augustine met recently, and reporter Candice Jackson has the details on this meeting.
They fought each other in public for over a year, but while the relationship remains shaky, the political leader of the PDP, Watson Duke, has declared a truce in the war of words. Speaking to the media on Wednesday, he said he recently met with Chief Secretary Fali Augustine, and during their meeting, they had cordial discussions, while also discussing expectations for the national budget.
I said between now and the next 2 years, do not expect to get any money to build this economy from Trinidad, from the PNM. They are competitors against Tobago's progress.
The THA received almost $2 billion less than they had requested for fiscal year 2024. Duke believes that the only way to address the shortfall is to involve foreign direct investors.
And I said to him, I am willing to engage in foreign direct investment conversation with colleagues I would have met abroad in my short stint in the THA. I said, I believe if we are to have those discussions with those persons, we could bring money in.
But according to Duke, foreign direct investors would be hesitant to invest in Tobago if there is animosity within the island's governing body.
Nobody wants to build any hotel or do anything meaningful here unless they recognize there is stability in the executive. That's how investors think. I say we have to calm it down. All them wild man talk, all them wild things carrying on there with, and that. Because if you attack, I go attack back.
Augustine and Duke's relationship deteriorated in the public eye in August of last year when Duke requested money to assist the cultural group stranded in New York for the Tobago Day activities. Augustine refused to release funds from the THA to Duke, sparking a public war of words. This conflict ultimately led to Augustine and the entire Executive Council resigning from the PDP, after which they formed the Tobago People's Party. Duke, too, resigned from the Executive Council as Deputy Chief Secretary and shifted his focus towards expanding the PDP in Trinidad. Duke explained that he chose to step away from the Executive Council in an effort to avoid further conflict.
I walk away. As I walk away, because I didn't want to fight you. I cannot fight my own. I could never fight my own. I can't fight my own Tobagonians and say I win. Win what? You can never fight your own and win.
Duke states that it is now the Chief Secretary's responsibility to address the matter. Meanwhile, he remains committed to Tobago. Augustine has not yet issued a statement. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
We take a short break, but more news when we return. Stay with us.
25 years of real good dashing food, delicacies, and enjoyment. Well, it come around again as we celebrate 25 years of the Tobago Blue Food Festival. This year promises to entice your taste buds again on Sunday, October 15th at Bloody Bay from as early as 10 a.m. All are invited to the celebration filled with craft, games, but most importantly, blue food. This is a brunch-style celebration and will also see the likes of Super Blue, Nyla Blackman, Pretty, Gerard Balfour, Joe Archer, Keyshawn Jack, and Junior Calypso star, The Shay Saul, and more on Sunday, October 15th, 2023. Come celebrate 25 years of the Tobago Blue Food Festival.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McAl Group.
Mount Pleasant Credit Union Back to School Loan Promotion. Loans up to 15,000. Requirements: job letter and a payslip no more than 1 month old. Utility bill, copy of book list, salary deduction, 10% down payment. For self-employed persons, evidence of income and expenditure, bank statement, 12 to 18 months. Other supporting document. Promotion ends October 18. Contact us at 639-8375 or 8108 or check us out on www.mpcutobago.com or email us at loans@mpcutobago.com. Mount Pleasant Credit Union's Back to School Loan Promotion.
Bad girl from Roxborough to Tobago, body fuego in your day clothes, I rate you. Grew up around good vibes and incense. Grew up in hard times that intense. Shut it as you're reaching at the dance. Use the topic as you're reaching at the dance. My girl, go and drop it as you're reaching at the dance. Making use of your talents when you balance back on the dance. Yes, yes. I know, baby. You want a man who take you serious, not just beat and leave. You're fed up on the streets. Yes, yes, I know, baby. You want a man who take you serious.
Welcome back. Representatives of youth organizations and the schools participated in the Youth Parliament to express their opinions on the 2024 national budget. And we have some highlights to share with you in this report.
27 individuals from various organizations and schools recently participated in the Youth Parliament to discuss the 2024 budget, which was presented by the Finance Minister. Among the attendees, NYP alumni Alexandra Ghani acknowledged the presence of several commendable incentives in the budget. However, she expressed a desire to see greater emphasis on initiatives aimed at addressing the low SEA pass rate and raising awareness about reading disability that have affected student performance.
I really enjoyed seeing more investment in the agriculture sector. I think it's a great move to diversify our economy, but I think that there were things missing that I would have loved to see.
Kima Bethelmi, representing Caribbean Women in Leadership, praised the government for introducing policies that align with the Sustainable Development Goals set by the United Nations.
In reviewing the budget, I saw a number of goals being addressed. Even though some of the items may not fall directly under the goals or may not speak directly to the goals, I saw that an attempt was made, and that just tells me that we are forward thinking and we are on our way to first world status.
Representing Mindwise, Adiola Peters highlighted that the increase in minimum wage and the emphasis on digitization were noteworthy aspects of the budget. She also expressed her desire to involve the youth in the digitization process to ensure a more representative perspective on how the developed platform can benefit the public.
While we have made a lot of moves to digitize a lot of the resources, I have not seen a lot of maintenance of those sites. I have not seen a lot of usability focus. So I would like to see more youths getting involved in that.
During the debate, participants were asked what would they prioritize if they were the finance minister with an unlimited budget. Darian Mitchell, representing the Tobago Youth Council, responded that he would place a stronger emphasis on clean energy in Tobago. He pointed out that Tobago has a limited number of CNG fueling stations, with one exclusively for PTSC buses at Cove. This, he emphasized, puts vehicles using CNG at a disadvantage in Tobago.
I would also be working towards establishing more clean energy throughout the island itself as well. Well, the two islands actually. Wind turbines, because we have areas that can facilitate things like that. But as my colleague rightfully said, we are in the talking stage. But we need to start seeing plans being put in place and showing feasibility of how it can be implemented and by when it can be implemented.
Many of the participants at the event expressed insightful views on the budget, highlighting what they believed were commendable measures and suggesting areas for improvement in the future. This reflects significance of the youth's perspectives in the decision-making process. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
Launch of its inaugural school magazine today. This magazine showcases current affairs and news articles of significance to the student body and is exclusively written by the students. Reporter Tanika Cruikshank tells us more about this commendable initiative.
Even though it falls outside the regular curriculum, the launch of the school magazine remains as a valuable education element. Principal Ariana Ford highlights that the magazine launch serves as an integral part of the education curriculum. To keep in step with the modernization of education for the students, the magazine's content was made accessible through an initial scan of a QR code using a mobile device.
It was an opportunity for our students to become more involved in the day-to-day activities, to showcase their talents. It is indeed an auspicious and worthy occasion, and I feel so privileged and honored to be a part of it.
Vice Principal Xavier King noted that this is a significant moment for the school's community and emphasized that attending Signal Hill Secondary School is not solely about the physical structure, but more importantly about the quality of education experience it offers.
Because you see, we're not just looking at a magazine as just a magazine. It's a Signal Hill Secondary School magazine. And when you hear Signal Hill Secondary School, the proud moment, a proud history.
Dana Burnett, one of the primary contributors to the magazine, expressed that she had an impact on students and teachers beyond the boundaries of Signal Hill Secondary School at a young age, feeling as though she has brought something inevitable to the table. The magazine focuses on various topics, events, and current affairs.
It's how hardworking the writers are, the facilitators of the club is to this magazine, and so much more. I believe that it will make a mark.
A new edition of the school magazine will be published at the start of each school term. Tanika Cruikshank, Tobago Updates Television News.
Now to this, Tobago's crab and dumpling is ranked as number 6 in the top 10 crab dishes from around the world. In a recent announcement, Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Dr. Amory Brown, shared the news on his social media. Taste at Last, an international platform renowned for reviewing traditional dishes from around the globe, has made the ranking. Taste at Last, which boasts of a collection of over 10,000 foods and beverages, positions itself as an encyclopedia of flavors and a global reference for traditional dishes, local ingredients, and authentic dining establishments. On Monday, Taste at Last unveiled its list of top 10 crab dishes, with Singapore's chili crab securing the number 1 spot. Dishes from Maryland, Singapore, and Brazil also ranked high on the list. Trinidad and Tobago received a commendable rating of a 4.2 out of 5 stars, securing the 6th spot on the list. Stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages. Well, today's World Teachers' Day. It's a special occasion dedicated to honoring the relentless dedication and the countless hours that teachers invest in their profession. Reporter Tanika Cruikshank highlights some of Tobago's hardworking teachers in this story.
In 2023, World Teachers' Day activities will center around the theme, "The Teachers We Need for Education We Want," the global imperative to address teacher shortages, as announced by the UNESCO. In light of this, the Vice Principal of Signal Hill Secondary School emphasized that being a teacher entails taking on numerous roles beyond transferring knowledge.
Besides teaching, you must be a doctor, a lawyer, a physician, a communicator, a dispute resolution person. Everything in life, I think, being a teacher. And therefore, it's significant that they recognize, because a teacher is all of the above.
The annual observance of World Teachers' Day serves as a tribute to the educators who play a pivotal role in shaping students' future. Celebrated every year on October 5th, this day provides an opportunity to reflect on the invaluable contributions made by teachers worldwide. Biology teacher David Roberts highlighted that being a teacher involved imparting knowledge to others.
I didn't have the best experience all the time where teachers were concerned. Sometimes you'd want to fall asleep in your class, and I always endeavored, if I ever were to become a teacher, that I would do my best to give the content to the students in a way that would be enjoyable to them, so that they would really appreciate the beauty of what teachers could bring to the table.
Teachers play a vital role in shaping the vision for the future, encompassing endeavors such as combating poverty, promoting social justice, addressing climate change, and fostering sustainable development. Physical education teacher Miss Walsh highlighted that being a teacher is particularly rewarding when students display enthusiasm while learning about sports.
Having to leave home, and I know that sometimes the children in the classroom, out of the classroom, sometimes I'm out on the field with them for football, netball, track and field and different sports, so I'm not grounded here. So teaching physical education is very exciting, and it keeps me motivated to come here to teach every day.
In observation of World Teachers' Day, Education Ministers Nyan Gasby Dolly and Lisa Morris-Julian expressed their appreciation for teachers. The Minister of Education expressed gratitude, stating, "Teachers make a difference in the life of so many of our citizens. Sometimes we take them for granted of how important their role is." Happy World Teachers' Day. Tanika Cruikshank, Tobago Updates Television News.
Well, the Division of Education, Research and Technology celebrated World Teachers' Day by visiting several schools where they collected students' expressions of appreciation for their teachers. Pupils shared how teachers positively impacted their lives through encouragement and care. The schools visited included Bell Garden Early Childhood Care and Education Preschool, Bethesda Government Primary School, and Mason Hall High School. Here's a snippet of what the students said.
Because he ensures that we are good and everything is running smoothly as it should. And if there's any problems, he makes sure and lets us solve it.
She helped me a lot, like becoming a prefect and like guided me through being a prefect. I enjoy her class the most because she's a very good explainer and she just makes sure that we understand. So that is why Mrs. Jester is my favorite teacher.
So my favorite teacher is Miss Hall. My favorite teacher because at that point in time I really like school and I intend to do school work and anything. And she more pushed me towards doing it, or like, you know, more liking school about certain things. So I say yes, she's my favorite teacher for her.
My favorite teacher is Miss Ramsey. Miss Ramsey is my favorite teacher because she's my form teacher and I have been with her since first form. Since first form, she hasn't given up on us. She hasn't made us feel as if we weren't enough. She's not only a teacher, but she's our netball coach. I am a netballer, and since I started the netball team, Miss Ramsey has pushed us to do better. Miss Ramsey has inspired us to want to be better.
Happy World Teachers Day from all of us at Tobago Updates Television News. Turning to some weather, according to the TNT Met Office, Tobago continues to experience the effects of stormy conditions attributed to the passage of a tropical wave moving away from the islands. For tonight, residents can expect cloudy periods with occasional showers, along with a medium chance of an overnight thunderstorm. Temperatures are anticipated to drop to 25 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow's weather will bring cloudy periods with occasional morning showers, gradually giving way to sunny and breezy conditions by midday. There's also a medium chance of an isolated thunderstorm. The night will be clear with a gentle breeze, and the temperatures will rise to 31 degrees Celsius with a low of 26 degrees Celsius. The seas are expected to be moderate, with waves ranging between 1.5 meters and 2 meters in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. Sunrise is at 5:51 a.m. and the sunset at 5:50 p.m. Recapping the headlines, Assemblyman Watson Dew calls for a truce with the Chief Secretary. Chairman of Tobago Business Chamber calls for a repeal of the Land License Act. $12.6 million budgeted for Tobago Carnival 2023, and the Signal Hill Secondary School launches its own magazine. I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards, thanking you so much for joining us and wishing you a good night.